Hello everyone, it's Dawn here and welcome back. And here we are again with our series from PAPERCRAFT Society Box 36. And these 4 dies here were originally designed, I believe, to create a layered snowflake. And we've not done that yet in this series, so I thought we'd do that today. So we're just going, from the dies anyway, we're just going to use these 4 large dies. And we're going to use them in order. That one, that one, that one, and then that one. And I'll show you how we put them together in a minute. But we're going to create a card to put them on, obviously. And we're going to create a Z-fold card. And they're very easy. So easy, even I can do it. So I'm just going to slide these dies to one side. And you will need a piece of card. I'm going to go for a more traditional palette this time. There's nothing wrong with the papers that came in the box, but I've used them. So I'm going to use my own cardstock. And we're going to go with a more traditional palette, just to satisfy those who like traditional cards, for Christmas anyway. And we need a piece that is 12 by 6. And I've actually got it the wrong way around, so that, oh actually no, we'll stick to that. It doesn't really matter which way it goes, but it will help to have your large piece on the right hand side. And I've already scored it, but it's ever so easy. We're just going to score at 3 inches and 6 inches, and that's all the scoring you need to do. And I will put all of these measurements and the 2 score folds, they're the only scores you need, but I will put them in the description box below this video. And to create the Z fold effect, you will need to fold this bit, the second fold, in. This is going to be the inside of your card, and you're going to fold that bit in. Give it a good crease. You can use your bone folder to crease it if you want to. If you haven't got a bone folder, use the handle end of a teaspoon. Works just as well. Or just use your fingers. And this bit, we are going to fold back on itself. And again, give it a nice sharp crease. So that's the only folding you've done. Card mechanism done. That was easy, wasn't it? And when it stands up like that. So you'll see why it's called a Z fold, because when it's standing, it looks like a Z. Easy, isn't it? So now we are going to just make this a little bit more colourful, and we will need some mats. And the mat for the inside, I have measured at 5.5 by 5.5 inches. Again, only because I've used up the papers and I wanted to go for a more traditional palette. I have used papers from my own stock, but because this has got this sort of, it's red to coordinate with my base card, and it's got this lovely snowfall effect which coordinates with the dies. Absolutely lovely. So I'm going to use one of my orange glue sticks for this, but you can use tacky glue if you want to, or any strongish glue. This is only paper, so it doesn't have to be terribly strong. But make sure, whatever glue you use, make sure you get it into the corners, because we don't want it peeling off. And if you want a larger border, just make this bit smaller. If you want a larger border, make this bit smaller. If you want a narrow border, make it a bit bigger. But that's about the size of border that I like. You could use tape for this, but if you use glue, you've got more time to slide it into place. So if you do what I've just done and not get it right the first time, or not get it where you want it the first time, I should say, you can start again. So you can slide it around until you're happy with the position. It doesn't have to be exact. It's a handmade card. It doesn't have to be exact, but it does help to have it straight. So that'll do for me. And then we're not going to do anything for this inside panel here, because you're not really going to see it, to be honest. But I am going to do another one, which is, if I can remember, 5.5 by 2.5. I've got my notes just over there off camera. But what I haven't done is I haven't put them in. I haven't written the notes in the order that I'm going to put the card together. So I had to think twice, or look twice, I should say. Again, I'm going to use my glue stick, or as we said, you can use tacky glue or any strong glue. And I'm going to put that on there like that. And again, if we use glue, we can just slide it around until we're happy with the position. And I think I'm quite happy with that. And while we're doing that, I'm going to flip this over, because obviously we need somewhere to write. And I've got a white mat, which again is 5.5 by 5.5. I have stamped on it because I wanted the ink to dry. and I've used Dreaming of a White, and then I've used the Christmas. So I just stamped that one first and then stamped the Christmas underneath it. So I've done that again in red to coordinate. And so I'm just going to turn that over, and I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this orange glue stick throughout, even when we assemble our layered snowflake in a few moments. But that bit comes last. We save the best till last. So I'm just going to give this a good coating of glue. Pop that over there. Make sure we've got it the right way around. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? So let's slip it into the middle so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just put that there. And if the borders aren't equal, this is just to write on the back. So it actually looks quite nice, however you do the borders. And now you need another piece which measures, and I think that measures, do you know what, I can't remember what it measures. Let's have a look. I think it's 5 by 5. It is, yes, 5 by 5. Yes, this mat, you need a red mat or whatever colour you're using that measures 5 by 5 inches, and you need another coloured piece that measures 4.5 by 4.5. So again, we're just going to get this assembled. We're going to get our base card assembled, then we will assemble our layered snowflake. So let's just get this done first. Oh, can you see? Oh, beg your pardon, you couldn't see that. I'll put that up there. Sorry about that, I went a bit off camera. It'll teach me to watch what I'm doing, won't it? I must remember to keep an eye on my screen every now and then. So I'm going to just peel that up. And I'm going to just pop that up there like that. Slide it where we want it. It could go over a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we've got a little border, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Or if you don't want any border at all, you could make your mats the same size as this bit, the plain part. And actually, I was saying that I was going to use the same throughout, but what I am going to do, because that might need something a bit stronger to stick that to that. But I'll tell you what, let's go for it anyway. If there's a problem with it, we'll deal with it. And that needs to go on there like that. So we need a little bit of a border. So if we glue, now if I put that up there this time, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to glue just under halfway across. Now, a little tip with your glue stick, if you can see a thick film of glue like that, that is roughly the equivalent of a tacky glue, and it should stay in place. If it just looks a bit thin, then you need something a bit stronger, like a real tacky glue or a stronger glue stick. So there's another tip for you. And I'm just going to lay that where I want it to go, roughly in the middle. Let's just make sure that that glue isn't sticking out, and it's not. That's fantastic, and that looks like it's going to hold. That's good. It'll take a few moments to dry, but that's okay. So now we have the base for our layered snowflake. And now we're going to take these bits one at a time, and we're not going to offset them this time. We're going to lay them directly on top of each other. So all the points will be facing the same way. So this large point will be facing up, as will all of the others. And we're going to start with the one with the widest piece, or the widest closed piece. You'll see what I mean as we go along. And I'm just going to put some strong glue stick or tacky glue in the middle. And I heard a rumble of thunder just a minute ago, so I hope it doesn't disturb us. And I'm going to lay that in the middle. So the idea of this layering snowflake, which I think is a fantastic idea, is that you can see just a little bit of the one underneath. When we put the next one on top, you can see just a little bit of what's underneath. And there are 4 altogether. So we're going to put the glue in that middle bit there, like that. And we are going to lay that directly. We're not going to offset it this time. We're going to lay them directly on top of each other, because that's how they're designed to be put together. You can offset them if you want to, of course. You can put them together or assemble them however way you like, whichever way you like. But I'm going to put them together like this for now. And then there's this bit here, Now these two are the easiest ones. The last one will be a bit tricky because there's not so much of a solid piece to put any glue on. So that bit goes on like that, and if we line them up as they're intended to by design, you can still see a little bit of what's underneath. And of course the last one, we have got a bit on there actually. I'm leaving the spikes, if you like, of the snowflake sticking up just to give it a bit of a three-dimensional effect. And this filigree one, beautiful though it is, goes on the top, and you can still see all that lovely detail underneath. So once you've put this particular die set together, you can see little bits of the underside, and it looks like a 3D snowflake, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I have to admit, I've never made a layered snowflake before, and I'm glad I have. I shall definitely be keeping this set, and I've found a piece of glue or piece of paper that I've not got glue on. That's typical, but that's all right. You can always just bung a bit on. There we go. But I think that looks beautiful, and I shall definitely be keeping this set, as I've kept all of my Papercraft Society sets, and I'll be making more and offsetting them maybe to make some layered flowers as well. So there we go, as we've done in a previous video, and it stands up really nicely. So if I rock it backwards, you can see how it stands, and if I stand it up, you can see that beautiful Z fold arrangement up here. And so you've got this gorgeous layered snowflake. I absolutely love it. And it flips out. If you wanted to, you could put an embellishment in the middle, but because we've used some pattern paper, I'm going to leave the middle as it is. And on the back, you've got plenty of room to write your own message, or if you wanted to, you could put the white paper, you could put another white piece in the middle and write your message that way. It's entirely up to you. But there is our layered snowflake card made with a Z fold. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. And if you've got this set, do have a go yourself. As you can see, it looks fantastic. But even if you haven't got this set, I'm sure you might have other dies that you can use to layer. Look through your stash. If you're not a member of Papercraft Society, look through your dies to see what you can use to layer up. And if you're interested in joining Papercraft Society and you haven't yet, just hop over to www.papercraftsociety.co.uk and that will take you straight to the subscription page. And I will add a link to that in the description below. And if you're interested in the orange glue stick, I think I might have mentioned this in a previous video, but if you missed it, that comes from WH Smith in the UK, and I will add a link to that as well, because you can't get it anywhere else because it's a Smith product. So there we go. There is our layered snowflake Z fold card. So that's probably what it'll say when it goes up. You'll see in a few moments when it goes up. And I will see you again on Friday for the last in our series. From this set, it'll be the last in our series. And we will be making a wind chime, a snowflake wind chime. So do come back and see how that works out and how we can assemble this or any other set you've got to make your own wind chimes. And I will see you very soon. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying these videos and you haven't yet subscribed, if you have, thank you very much. But if you haven't and you'd like to and you don't want to miss any of our videos, do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and YouTube will always let you know when I upload a new video. And I will see you Friday. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.